Hey everyone, got a very special video for everybody today. Real excited. I've had this idea which it's been in my head all week. When I'm at work I think about it, when I come home. I'm just going to do a tips video. I think this is basically going to sum up every single tip I give in all my other videos. And I'm just going to put it in one video so everybody can find it, everybody can use these tips, and basically just to help everyone out. And right here in another document, I have my tips written down. Sorry. Oh, so let's get started with the tips. I promise you, if you use this video, you will at least pick up one tip that will help. I promise you that. I promise it will help you draw better. In my opinion, and this is truly just my opinion, I believe 65% of drawing is pure talent, and I believe the other 35% to 40% really is a matter of learning. It's a matter of process and error and learning. So I feel like that's why my channel name is You Can Draw, because I truly do believe anybody who kind of practices enough can become a better drawer, and they really can draw. So I hope once again this video helps you to draw, because like I said, everyone can. And so first tip, use references. Tip number one, let me change that to black. Use references. And what I mean by that is you want to have photos, you want to have pictures that you can use to kind of guide you to draw a character. And this is a really big thing to use references, because a lot of times, and this is my case too, I can feel like very discouraged. Say if I want to draw Spider-Man and I draw him and it doesn't look good, or it just doesn't look like him, I oftentimes I'll get very down on myself and very sad. I'll feel like, oh, maybe I'm just not a good drawer, and I'll give up drawing. But that's not anything to do with it. Being good at drawing doesn't mean you can remember every single costume, that you can remember every person's face. You have to use references. What's being good at drawing is you look at the reference, you draw it maybe 2-3 times, and then you remember it by heart. And that's kind of what I teach in all my videos. You know, I'm teaching you how to draw characters, but I want you to remember each little different trait we learn so you can redraw them over and over in different poses. And so I kind of want you to remember, always use references. That's a huge thing. Because you know, you don't know how to draw a gun or a weapon. You have to look at a photo unless you're a super genius. So that's my first tip. Second tip, which I always say, patience, take your time. Patience. I can't stress that enough. When I'm drawing, I don't think I spelled that right, but when I'm drawing, if I rush and try to draw like an anime head fast, or don't take my time getting the basics, it's not going to come out good. And you know, drawing is all about getting yourself into the drawing, you know, truly enjoying drawing. And you know, that's the art behind drawing. It's just losing yourself in the lines and the sketch. And so, like I say all the time, take your time. I can't stress that enough, because that's something I fail to do. Like, I'll used to draw heads, and I'll be like, okay, I can draw a head, so I'll draw it real fast, and then it comes out bad. And that was my biggest flaw when I used to draw all the time. It was being too quick, you know, not taking that extra time. Another tip, get inspired. Can't stress this enough. Inspiration, inspired, so important. Because like the other day I sat down and I went to draw, and my drawings were coming out horrible. And once again, it goes back to the mindset. All of this has to do with mindset. That's why I say 65 is talent and 35 is just being in the right mental state to draw. Because you have to be inspired. Look at drawing videos on YouTube. I love watching them. Watch movies, watch anime movies, animated movies, comics, whatever gets you inspired to draw. Because if you're not in the mood to draw, like, it comes out horrible. And that's happened to me so many times that I get discouraged, and then it's like, what's the point of this? I can't draw good, and it's just very discouraging. Next tip, bigger. Always draw it bigger. I stress that once again, all the videos. Bigger, in this case, is a lot better for drawing. And the reason is, if you're drawing a little tiny figurehead, you don't gain that confidence. If you're drawing a huge circle, and then you're drawing the head. Of course, these are horrible head forms. But just, you know, if you're drawing the head on a big scale, that gives you confidence because you're not hiding any features, you're not covering anything up. It makes you feel like a better artist. It's like if I draw eyes that are huge, I get better naturally at drawing small eyes because I know everything that's going on. It gives me the confidence I need to say, okay, I know the pupils there, this and that. And so always draw bigger. My recommendation is draw it bigger than your hand. Put your hand down on the piece of paper, so that was my hand shape, and then draw the whole image bigger than that, even twice the size. That's a huge thing, drawing it bigger. Trust your eyes. Trust your eyes. This comes from more by if you're drawn by eye rather than from mind. And a lot of these tips are by eye. But trust your eyes. Like, say if you're looking at this image and you want to copy that, you want to draw that. Don't trust what your mind might be telling you, well, this comes here and then this goes here and it kind of goes there. And it kind of goes like that. Completely trust your eyes. Let your eyes work for you. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm scanning it. I'm noticing there's a vertical line there. There's a horizontal line that meets up. So I'm just making all these mental notes so I can copy it better. But always look at what you're drawing if you're drawing by eye. Don't get so into your drawing that you forget to look at what is there right in front of your eyes. And in terms of the horizontal and vertical lines, I'm going to get into the next tip. This is a perfect tie-in. Horizontal and vertical lines are your best friend. I cannot stress this enough. This is a huge, huge thing. And what I mean by that is everything you draw is either going to be curved, it's going to be at an angle, it's going to be this way, that way. And the best way to draw, if you're using your eyes to copy an image, a superhero, whatever you want to draw, always trust horizontal and vertical lines. I cannot stress that enough. They really become your best friend. And the reason for this is because, say if I'm just going to draw a cheap chair. Like I'm saying, I'm not drawing anything fancy today, just to do tips. But, you know, say there's a chair, real simple chair. Vertical and horizontal lines. Look at this point here. This is what you learn in art school, and this is what a lot of books train you. If you look at that, your mind can see a vertical line, which means there's a shape there. So all you have to do is copy that shape and then, you know, erase that mark. And then look at this. This is another curved at an angle, and you can see that. So yeah, it curves about like that. Then a horizontal line across there. This point kind of touches, so it's almost in a horizontal line. So you have another little shape that just comes up. But that's what it means. Vertical, horizontal lines. Start evaluating this. So, please try it right now. I promise it will help you to draw better. Look at some of my old videos or look at comic book drawings or any drawings and just start applying this principle. Start looking at where do points match, where do points line up on vertical and horizontal planes. Because once you start doing that, you can see the angles of things. You can break things down. And that's such a huge tip. That's a very big tip in my opinion. Another thing, this is a big thing that I stress. Try different tools. Try paper. You want to try all different tools. Paper. Right now I'm on a tablet. So try digital if you have it. Different tools. You know, a lot of people say tools don't make the artist. In my opinion, I kind of disagree with that because to me, I feel like I could draw better with inks because it gets values down faster, my mind works faster, but everybody's different, so that's why just use different tools, try different papers. You never know what you'll discover. You may be amazing at digital, you may just click with digital, or you may try watercolors and it'd be like, wow, this clicks for me. So always try to draw with different tools. Another big thing, always be open-minded. Never feel like you've truly mastered anything and never assume that you have something down completely. And this is huge. And I always have to tell myself this because I'll draw a head and I'll be like, oh wow, I'm getting better at drawing the head and this is a side view. And then a week later I'll go back and I'll be like, well crap, I have this proportion wrong or this is wrong, the eyes are in the wrong spot. And then I'll go back again, and then I'll refine it. I'll be like, okay, now it looks better. I think I got it down. But the point I'm making is always kind of improve. Never feel like, okay, I've truly got this down. I'm a master at drawing something. You may be perfect at something or flawless, But in my opinion, as a mental state, always kind of keep that open-mindedness when you draw. I hope this helps everybody. This is fun teaching. I love teaching. And another thing, always try different things, drawing different things. Don't always draw heads or faces. You know, try different arms, torso, because the more you draw, the better you're going to get. You know, the more you draw torsos and then the head on top, the more you're going to get at these different things. And so just experiment. Try drawing different things. Don't always draw the same thing. Repetition kind of goes hand in hand with that. Always keep repeating, keep practicing the same thing. Another big thing, which in my opinion helps a lot. A lot of people have like a fear of making a line on a perfectly white paper. Something you can do, and I highly recommend, mess up your paper first. It doesn't have to be too messy, but take some pencils, maybe make some hatches. You know, with digital, I can go over, make a couple of scrape marks. Mess your paper up first. It really can help a lot to get over the mental block of drawing, because now it's like, oh, it's already messy. Well, then I can draw a couple lines here, and for me, it helps me a lot, because I kind of have that fear of how am I going to draw this next? You know, and by having this dirty quality, you don't really have a fear of messing up on paper. That's a little thing. And then finally, two more things that I thought about. Less is more. This is another big tip, and I'll put all the tips in the comments below. Less is more. In other words, rely a lot on value. If you watch artists drawing here on YouTube, they may just make a simple mark like that for a chin, and then they may make a line like that, and then a line there, and already they have a basic head shape. Rather than drawing every little line, rely on value. Sometimes you need to use value rather than lines, and that's why I'm saying less is more. Sometimes it's better. So I'm just drawing a real simple head and then torso, and I'm not putting any major lines in. And you can see pectoral muscles here and little collarbone. But all I'm doing is, you know, shading in here. There's going to be some value. And just practice maybe drawing by shading first. Excuse me. Putting values in first. And I'm just drawing, you know, again, just real crappy drawings, but just to explain this. But less is more. It's the same thing with an eye. Maybe you do the shading first, and so it's just a good idea to get you. Remember that value makes up a big part of a drawing. You're not going to be able to do a whole drawing with lines. Here's a better example. I'm sorry, guys. Like if I draw a circle, you don't want to keep going over and over. You don't want to add additional lines, because that circle's going to be shaded in. You know, you're going to have value. So just keep that in mind. That value plays a big part. And proportions, final tip. I try to do this really fast as I can. Proportions, huge. Big tip. A lot of people always start with the head when they draw. Always start with the head. In my opinion, you can start wherever feels best. If you want to start with the torso, maybe better draw a torso, because it may be a view that you're looking above the character. And so the head would actually be up here. You know, here's the arms. So the point is, draw wherever you feel is best. But in terms of proportions, people will use the head, you know, to say, okay, one head length. What, man? 1 second, man. I'm making a video. So, you know, one head length, they'll say, like, this was an arm shape. The arm might be one head length. Well, you don't always have to do it like that. You can actually say, instead, say if you start with the torso, and this is only if you start getting to know proportions, you know, this is more advanced, then say, okay, I have the torso when the head is one pectoral length. Rather than saying the head, if I want to draw the head after, now I can say, well, it's about the length from here is the same as the head, so then I can draw the head in after. Same with other body parts, if I draw the arm in first. And so that's about it. Thanks, everyone. I can't do it without all of you. Please let me know if this helps. In my opinion, I'm a much better teacher than I am an artist. That's just my opinion, and I feel like my strong point is teaching. So hope these tips help. Let me see your drawing sometime, and Sorry for the bad drawings. Thanks everyone, I appreciate it.